one of the major components of the theory is the fact that when we see Shanks meet the Reverie, or go to the Reverie rather, and he not ambushes, but he has that audience with the Elder, it would kind of add some credence as to why Shanks was able to do that. And just the way that Oda paneled the chapter, he had half of Shank's face showed up, shaved away, as to not see his scars to be able to actually verify that it is indeed Shanks. So I'm leaning on the fact that it's a twin brother or maybe a relative, someone that looks close enough to him and may have a similar fighting style. To me, that's the best theory to go with because we've already kind of.
Back to anime because I have a question for Miles. Because people have been asking me, even though I'm not the One Piece nigga, you are. Who do you think is that guy in the pen on the last chapter of One Piece that we don't get to see? That's holding the sword.
Is he frozen?
Oh, we're back. Yeah, we muted y'all the whole time.
Look, y'all muted.
Oh,
That is rude as hell.
Yeah, you guys was.
What do you mean it's rude? I'm not caught up with the boys.
That's your fault.
Yeah, so I muted you. Of course I'm gonna.
Miles, did you hear my question?
No, I'm trying to watch the last season, so.
Oh, okay. No, my question it's a One Piece related because people have been asking me. But the last panel of the One Piece chapter, who's that mystery guy holding the sword? Because we saw Shanks, we saw Luffy, Blackbeard, and all the regulars, and we also saw that that Holy Guard Knight that we think is related to him. But who was that guy that they left? Who do you think that is that guy that they just left in the dark?
Everybody has their own theory. Everybody's been making them. And, obviously nothing's going to be concrete. But the theory that I've chosen to believe in, Shanks might have a relative, and it could be a twin, something of that nature. And a lot of the theory stands on one of the major components of the theory is the fact that when we see Shanks meet the Reverie, or go to the Reverie rather, and he not ambushes, but he has that audience with the elders, it would kind of add some credence as to why Shanks was able to do that. And just the way that Oda paneled the chapter, he had half of Shank's face showed up, shaved away, as to not see his scars to be able to actually verify that it is indeed Shanks. So I'm leaning on the fact that it's a twin brother or maybe a relative, someone that looks close enough to him and may have a similar fighting style. To me, that's the best theory to go with because we've already we're already assuming that Garling is like his granddad or his dad, something of that nature. So it'd have to be like a brother or something like that, or a clone. Who knows?
Maybe it's maybe a father. Who knows?
No, I've seen exactly what you're talking about on TikTok. I was going through TikTok, and I heard the Shanks twin brother theory as well.
I was on Reddit. I'm not a TikTok boy, but I was on Reddit and I saw it.
Oh, Reddit. And to kind of reinforce that as well is that the sword that's shown in the panel looks very similar to the sword that Shanks uses right now. Mm-hmm. So, hey man, I'm kind of buying it too that it might be Shanks' twin brother that is there. So we'll see.
It would, for me at least, it would be a good way to kind of I never thought we were gonna have a point in the story where Luffy is gonna like be directly pitted against Shanks. It doesn't strike off that that's ever gonna happen to me. So him having like a twin brother would be a good way to kind of make that sort of happen. It wouldn't be the real thing, but it would be something similar. So I think it would be cool to see.
Long lost twin. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that could build up to this moment to make it seem like it's not a last minute decision? And I don't know. Like, I don't know.
A lot of people have been theorizing that because you remember when the Shanks was going to talk to Gorosei, a lot of people were like, "Oh wait, he don't have a scar in that panel." Like a lot of people have been speculating that was a twin for a long time because of that panel.
Well, I'm talking about even before that because Miles mentioned that, and like before that, because usually Oda builds up to this because this seems like a very important plot point, right? Because it's Shanks, and this is going to be connected to his past. So, did Oda put anything in the story to kind of allude to him having a twin or any type of family member that's part of like this important lineage?
This is gonna be headcanon, and kind of based off the Bible just a little bit, Well, I remember there being a story in the Bible where basically Moses at birth was kind of casted away almost, and his actual brother was able to remain um and stay and eventually be like an emperor or the king of Egypt at the time. Through watching Red, we kind of see the nature of Shanks' birth, where he's like found in that treasure chest. We don't know exactly how all that could have happened, but it could have kind of been a play on that because we've seen in One Piece that Oda likes to play with a lot of different religions to kind of compound his story. So I don't know. It'll be cool to see though.
I'm kind of. So what do we think? Do we, if this actually ends up Shanks' twin brother, what is the consensus for everyone here that's caught up with One Piece? Like, what? How are we feeling about that?
Say that one more time.
If this is actually Shanks' twin brother, how do we feel about it?
I mean,
I'll have to see it.
I mean, I could see that, or like a father. I mean, I could see it. I could see it as a way of like Luffy not having to fight Shanks. Though a part of me wants him to fight Shanks more as like a rite of passage, like because I always view Shanks as like more of like a gatekeeper. Like he was never truly after the One Piece. He was more kind of gatekeeping for the next generation. And I feel like a good final step for Luffy would be like to beat Shanks and like eventually like give the straw hat back or whatever. I don't know. Something like that. Something along those lines is like what I always kind of envisioned. So I could see it, but I could also see that whoever that person is might be the person that Dragon has to deal with. Because I feel like things are like lined up for people, and I'm wondering if that's who Dragon might have to end up fighting.
Ty, what do you think?
I don't. I would prefer it not be a twin and more so just a relative because I feel like that would make. I mean, he's disconnected from his like, Holy Night family, so it could happen. Like maybe he's unaware as well. I don't know, but I don't know. It's like Oda is that Oda just fooling us? Is some of the things we think were Shanks are not Shanks? That'd be kind of crazy, but I don't know. I would have to see how he does it. This is the biggest thing. I don't want to say I'm against really any plot point that doesn't actually contradict characters or story, but I don't know.
I hear you.
Sure. Any My Hero JJK stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So, first things first. This is more of a question for Ty. J-Rob, this would have been perfect for.